Didn't think this day would happen. Wow, I'm actually surprised. But the news has finally broke out. Stefon Diggs has been traded to the Houston Texans. Now, here's the full trade, where the Texans get the Bills wide receiver Stefon Diggs, a 2024 6th round pick, a 2025 5th round pick, which will be given to the Texans. And in exchange, the other hand, the Bills will end up getting a 2025 2nd round pick, and that's pretty much it. Now, taking a look at the trade for both sides, looks like the Texans probably could have the better side of this, and it means that the Bills, they didn't really get the best out of this trade. But showing what happened with the Bills, it could probably lead to two things that could happen, being that they would draft a receiver in the draft, or who knows, they might go after a receiver from trade. The receivers I could only think of them going after are T. Higgins of the Bengals and maybe, but probably won't happen, Brandon Ayuk on the Niners. But for the Bills, this would show that it needs two receivers. But on the other side, the Houston Texans, they're looking like a great team. Great contender, legit AFC playoff contender. Could have a chance at dethrone the Chiefs? Who knows? But looking for on the Bills side, the two receivers, I think that they would draft two guys that stand out to me the most. Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU and Xavier Worthy, the guy who had the fastest 40-yard time in draft combine history. But looking at on the free agency side, there have been talks since free agency started that the Bills could go after T. Higgins. T. Higgins did say, as the quarterbacks we want to play with, one of the guys he said, Josh Allen. And the Bengals haven't said up anything about keeping T. Higgins after franchise tagging him. So who knows? Bills could go for T. Higgins. But on the other side, looking at this for the Texans, they've gotten so much better. They've gotten a lot better from last season to now with this trade. Them, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, those guys, they already won a playoff game against the Browns last year. Now, coming into this season, they're adding in Joe Mixon, adding in Stefon Diggs, and Tank Dell will probably be healthy and ready to go for next season. So realistically, we might have to look at the Texans as a contender in the AFC. But my main topic about this trade is, yes, the Bills. It's not about the Bills drafting a receiver or trading for a good one, or how the Texans are looking like a legit team. But my big concern is, how in the world did the Brandon Beane just look at the offers and just said, yeah, I'm just going to take the 2nd round pick from the Texans? I don't think that they did not know what was going on. I do not know how only a 2nd round pick. I get it. NFL trades, they're broken. Compared to the NBA, you would have to actually ask for a lot. NFL trades, not much. It's just a player can be worth a pick. Who knows? But taking a look at this in Madden franchise, just wanted to point it out here. Looking at Madden franchise logic, it would just show no chance. Probably would have laughed at the trade. So yeah, I'm just wondering how a 2nd round pick is all the Bills got for a wide receiver one in Stefon Diggs. Now, thinking about it, yes, Stefon Diggs last season not looking the best compared to seasons before. He's definitely been on the decline since week 6 after fading off the world of the earth, not having a single 100-yard reception game. But I think Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane look at this, thinking that Stefon Diggs, with all the drama that's going on, they could have just been tired of him, wanted him to get off the team. So just whatever you guys give us, we're good with. And now people are starting to think that, oh yeah, the Bills, their window's done. They've lost so many key players, but they still have lots of players that are available that are still on this team. Let's look at the Bills. They still have Josh Allen, a guy who is really considered to be a top 3 quarterback in the league. a guy who led the league in touchdowns last season, tied Hurts for the rushing record touchdowns, and a man who was pretty much the most valuable piece on this team, and they wouldn't have been how they were last season after starting 6-6, and then coming back all the way to win the division. So I think with Josh, they'll still be competitive enough to make the playoffs. And looking at the guys, they still have, yes, I know they lost Gabe Davis too, but they got guys on offense with Shakir. Shakir has looked great has had shown glimpse of greatness during last season, showing signs that he could be a wide receiver 1 on this team. And that the Bills signing Curtis Samuel shows that with signing Curtis Samuel and looking at how he's been playing in the past, he looks like could be a better receiver than Gabe Davis, who was gone and didn't do much this season on the catching side. But on blocking, Davis was amazing this season. Kincaid has looked like a great tight end rookie season. Knox is still on this team, who's been good. James Cook, first 10 games with Dorsey, wasn't looking like what he was once Joe Brady, who came along, became the OC. So what I pretty much think this would mean is the Bills losing Stefon Diggs and also those key pieces on defense, not the worst, thinking that like their window's done, like they're closed, that they're gonna be like a team that's like third in the division. It's gonna be the Jets and the Dolphins battling out for the AFC East. But I definitely do think the Bills will stay competitive and make it farther make it not really far in the playoffs, but they'll still be competitive in trying to make the playoffs. If this team could figure out how the receiver problem by drafting a receiver, which in a few years would be great with the young core around Allen and this team, or just going for a receiver like T. Higgins, which could happen if they wanted to go the trade route. But if they also wanted to go for Brandon Ayuk, which probably won't happen because I think those talks have stopped. I do definitely think that those two things could happen for the Bills, and if they can trade for the receiver, that trading for the receiver couldn't mean that they're back in contention. Who knows? We just gotta wait to see what happens for next season. But anyways, that's pretty much all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably see you in the later videos from now on. Peace.